What's up everyone and welcome back to Super Pirate Bros. Today I'm going to show you my Zoro deck profile for OPO2 because I have not done so yet. And I know it's a very popular deck and super powerful and it's definitely one of the best decks, so I'm going to share with you my build. It's been treating me well lately because I've gotten so many tops already, either top 4 or I've gotten 5th place without a prize, but I got tied for 2nd. Anyways, all that stuff. The last thing I won was half a box at a 30-man tournament. So I'm going to show you my particular build. And yeah, let's get right into it. Well, this is my really cool custom Dawn. I just wanted to show that off real quick. Anyway, let's show what the powerful Zoro can do. The best deck in the game needs the beautiful Miss Nami, your searcher. 1 cost. As the whole deck is going to be themed on weenies, it's about having the cost 1 guys on your board. So Nami's going to get you all your Straw Hats. She's your best card. If you mulligan, you want to see her, as much of her in your starting hand as possible. That's all I gotta say about her. That's when you're gonna reshuffle your hand. 4 of Sunny-kun, because he is your Straw Hat Crew guy. That's also 1 cost. We're gonna be powering him up with all the other 1 cost guys. And that starts with Miss Makino. She's the one that can rest herself. And then she gives a 1 cost 3000 power. So she'll power up either Sunny, Nami, or any of these several other characters that I have coming up. And the 2k counter is never a bad choice. And it's actually infinite. She only has to rest herself. So your opponent would have to attack her and then, like, let's say leave Sunny-kun alive or whatever. So you have certain matchups that are awful. Like Whitebeard is tough. That's the matchup where you want to flood a bunch of rank 1s, the cost 1s on the field, and then attack slowly. And here's your next rank 1. Magoro, this funny mustache man with a pink mohawk, it looks like. Anyways, on play, it's a red character with the cost of 1 gains 3000 power. I'm playing just 3 of him. And what's really cool also is that he can power himself up. So you play one turn, power somebody else up. You can play another one, power the other one up that could attack, and then begin striking the opponent just like that. So 3 of him on my build. 4 of any staple to a red deck these days. It's Otama, just 4 of her. And give an opponent's character -2 power during this turn, 2k power. That's good for the Nico Robin effect, for your Jet Pistol, and for Vista, which I'll show you later. 4 of the best 2k. I'm playing 3 of the Film Gordon. He's also rank 1, so he's searchable with a card, the Dawn, that I'm going to show you. And he gives the opponent -3k power by putting himself to the bottom of the deck. That's good for Jet Pistol, Nico Robin, and also Vista, like I said before. And another thing I want to tell you before I go on is to play this guy sometimes, and it comes up often. The way you want to utilize him better is you play him, and then you don't attack with him because you obviously can't. He's not a rusher. Then the following turn, you play either Makino, Magura, or you could give him a couple Dawn, have him attack, then do his effect, because you can have him attack first and then have him return to the bottom. And then you get a lot more out of him than just, play return. So it's just a thought, something to remember that you can do with him. Next up is the rank 1 searcher. Curly the Dawn, she on play, let's look at 5, pick up 1 cost. That is literally everybody I've just showed you here. So that's 12, 16, basically like 24 cards. Wait, I can't do math. That's like 22 cards she can search. So that's why she's one of the best ones here. And on the next turn, she'll be able to attack for a lot stronger because, your leader is Zoro and he's going to power them all up anyway. So you need 4 of hers. She's like the next best thing if you don't find Nami. Usually she gets you your Nami if you don't have Nami yet. So that's what I love about her. So definitely 4 is a must. Next up, I am playing 4 of Brook. He's just a wonderful 2k counter. And not bad to do the on-play effect either, because the following turn you get to attack for 3, which is cheap to add Dawn on him because you're just going to do it with Zoro. He'll be at 4 and just keep on attacking for a lot of hard rushing damage. The whole point of this deck is to overwhelm the opponent as fast as you possibly can. There's not a Zoro game that ever takes long. Unless your opponent's slow playing you, then maybe your game will take long, but naturally a Zoro match shouldn't really last too long. But yeah, the other effect is to just give 2 rested Dawns, so that's very useful as well. 4 of hims. Next up is the rushing Zoro. We're getting into our 3 cost territory. It's very basic, just has rush. 3 for 5, super powerful. You get to keep doing them to keep applying pressure to your opponent. And sometimes you even get to save a couple of them at closer to the end of the game, and then you attack for a lot stronger for that. Next up, I'm choosing to play just 3 of Nico Robin, only because I think she's a little slower than Vista. Nico Robin is one of the best effects in the game, but these days she just gets rested a lot or gets KO'd on effect rather quickly. And against Whitebeard, for example, she's absolutely useless. Whitebeard doesn't play too much low-cost characters. I mean, characters that have low power besides the builds with Nami and stuff, but who's going to worry about Nami in a Whitebeard deck, right? So I'm just putting 3 of hers, but the one I am putting 4 of is Vista, which to me is like an upgraded version of Nico Robin. He on play KOs someone that costs 3,000 less. So you do Vista with Otama, with Gordon, you already get to destroy a lot of different characters that you normally wouldn't be able to with him. So 4 is good. Like I said, if you have Nico Robin against the Whitebeard matchup, discard it for a counter when you need to protect something. That's what I can say about that. And also the same goes for Vista. I've noticed that I play lots of Whitebeard matchups, and it comes up so often that I just rather discard this for its counter than ever play him, because your opponent doesn't have anything low. But every other matchup, very good to keep these on board and use them the correct way with their effects. Next up, my half spicy choices is 1 Monkey D. Luffy. This is the rushing one that costs 5. He's a bit expensive at 5. Like I said, the point of this deck is to swarm the board with your level 1s and stuff, and a couple of rushing Zoros, but him out of nowhere is a nice surprise to throw at your opponent, because your opponent thinks, you know, you're out of rushes or something, or it won't be that strong. And also, let's not forget the Dawn 2 ignoring blocker effect. That can come up and actually win you games at the end game. So 1 of him is cool. Next up, I'm going to play the last characters. 2 of Whitebeard. Whitebeard is super strong in this deck, because by the end of the game, you're usually up life and your opponent's like teetering and trying to collect their little bit of life that they have left after all the damage you put with your rushers and your level 1 onslaught, your cost 1 onslaught. So yeah, and then on play he gives the leader 2,000, so the leader gets to poke for 7, and then the next one he's at 7 again. So super strong. If anything, I would rather already say is if you like Whitebeard, you can replace the Luffy for the Whitebeard, or vice versa. If you're more into the rush down style of it, things, him instead of these 2. That would be your choice right there, but this has been working for me. Up next, gotta love this card. It's the Jet Pistol. I know people recommend you not to rely on triggers, but this is the best trigger in the whole game. It literally is. It's just ridiculous. When it goes off, it's like a lottery you hit, especially when you get to destroy one of their 5 cost or 6 cost characters, or even a 4 cost character. That comes in brutal against them. The other day, I actually won a game against a law deck that was pushing me to my limit. I was definitely about to lose, and miraculously, I think I had 2 of these at the end of my life pile, and I got to destroy a couple of his characters, 1 in the middle of the game and 1 at the end of the game. Anyways, they came up to really win. So you ever see 2 of these in your life pile, you kind of have a 90% chance of winning for free. So yeah, I Jet Pistols, and of course, if you draw it, not the end of the world. You can play it with Otama or with Gordon, so you get to kill really big characters with it as well. So not bad. Next, I decided to play 1 Diable Jambe. This is a card that I play 1 of. If you ever see it in your hand, hold it until the very last turn of the game, or the very last turn that you think is going to be the last turn, because this will win you the game. Because usually people throw their blockers at the end of the game. Decks like Kinemon, Law, they have a lot of blockers by the end of the match. So you do this, load up a lot of your Dawn on your leader. In fact, you usually have 10 Dawn by the end of the game, so you load up 9 Dawn on your leader, play this, boom, attack for 14,000, and you kind of win right there if they have 1 life. So, or I mean, if they have no life. So that's how you win. I just said my opponent has no life. You no lifer. Anyways, last card I'm gonna show is Guard Point. This one, it came up handy a few times. I might take it out. In fact, I'm highly deciding to take it out. It's obviously a worse version of Radical Beam, but you can use it early game where it is 3,000 power. And I use this in the beginning of the games if I want to protect something like, let's say I have 4 Dawn and my hand isn't looking too strong or I can't play too much stuff. I'll use it to protect something like a Zoro or even a Sunicune so that they can just go ahead and attack again for free the next turn, because people usually attack 2k over. I mean, they'll see your active Dawn, but they can assume it's a Radical Beam, and they'll be even adding 4. Meanwhile, all you had is this. It's not bad. So this or Radical Beam. I'm just going to spread out the deck for you to show you the ratios a lot clearer if you want to take a screenshot of it. Alright everyone, so here's the full deck profile for you with all the ratios inside, with everything accounted for. In the horrible glare is the Luffy. If you can't see it, that's a Luffy in the glare and a bit of Vista. Anyways, the deck's been treating me very well. It's very strong. I'm pretty sure most of you at locals, this is like the last deck you want to face. It's always very annoying. And yeah, it's all about putting pressure, and the power of the one cost weenies is definitely a threat to anyone because these decks always see top table anyway, no matter where you go. So anything I would change for it would be, like I said, maybe the guard point to put Radical Beam. Radical Beam's obviously a whole 1k stronger than it, so I do see why people choose that one. I just choose guard point because guard point, I kind of just use it in the early stages of the game to protect some of my guys that have already attacked so that I can just keep applying pressure. So for that reason, I choose to have it over this because in the early game, you can't use this or else it'll just be 2k power. So it's bad. And like I said, you can switch the Whitebeards out for Luffy's or the Luffy out for the Whitebeards if that's your preference. Besides that, I think that's the strongest way I can make this deck. And hope you like and subscribe and comment. Let me know what you think about it. If anything you want to switch, anything you want to hate or love about, let me know. We'll be having a tier list soon because I know this is one of the most powerful decks and I'm going to see where it matches up to everything else. Anyways, hope you have a good day. If you didn't, I hope you have a good day tomorrow. Peace.